Imagine this. You are 12 years old. You wake up before sunrise. You put on the same dirty clothes. You walk alone through the cold streets of London, not to school, to a factory. The room is dark, the floor is wet, rats run across your feet. And your job, your only job, is to put labels on bottles, hour after hour, 12 hours every single day. No school, no friends, no future. This boy grew up and changed the world forever. His name was Charles Dickens, and his story might be the most important story you hear this year. Welcome. Wherever you are right now, I am glad you are here. Today I want to tell you something true, not just about Charles Dickens, about what happens when a person refuses to let their pain win, because that is what this story is really about. London, 1824. Charles Dickens is 12 years old, and his world has just collapsed. His father, a kind, cheerful man who loved music and laughter, has been arrested, not for a crime, for debt. In England at that time, if you could not pay your bills, they put you in prison. The family has nothing left. Charles has to leave school. He has to work, every single day. He walks 40 minutes through the streets of London to a factory near the river. Warren's Blacking Factory. They make boot polish, a product to shine shoes. Charles's job is simple. Put labels on jars, tie string around them, stack them, repeat, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. The room is cold and dark. Rats run across the floor. The smell fills his lungs. The other boys are rough. Charles feels completely alone. But the worst moment, the moment he never forgot for the rest of his life, came one ordinary afternoon. He was working near the window, and outside, through the dirty glass, he saw them, his old school friends, walking, laughing, free. Charles stepped back from the window. He moved behind a machine. He pressed himself against the wall so they could not see him. He was ashamed, not of the work, not of the factory. He was ashamed of what his life had become. He never spoke about this moment, not to his wife, not to his children, not to his closest friends. He carried it alone for the rest of his life. But here is what I want you to understand. That shame did not break him. It became his fire. Even in the darkest days, Charles had one thing that kept him alive inside: books. On his one day off, he went to the library. He read everything: adventures, histories, stories about real people who had faced impossible odds and survived. Books showed him that the world was bigger than the dark room he was trapped in. And somewhere between those pages, a 12-year-old factory boy made a silent promise to himself. One day I will write stories, and everyone will read them. He had no plan, no connections, no money, no reason to believe it was possible. He just refused to stop believing it. Time passed. His father was eventually released from prison. Charles got a job as a clerk in a law office. He hated every minute of it. So he taught himself shorthand, a fast system of writing. He became a journalist. He walked through London every night, watching, listening, remembering. He saw things most people chose to ignore: families sleeping under bridges, children begging for food in the cold, old people dying alone on the streets, an entire city of invisible people that nobody was writing about. Charles decided he would write about them. In 1836, at only 24 years old, he published his first major book, The Pickwick Papers. People loved it immediately. They waited in bookshops for each new chapter. They laughed, they cried. They talked about the characters as if they were real people. Charles Dickens became famous almost overnight. The boy who had hidden behind a machine in shame was now the most celebrated writer in England. But he did not forget where he came from. He was just getting started. Oliver Twist, 1838, a small boy with no parents, no name, no one who cares if he lives or dies. Hungry, cold, and completely alone in a city that does not see him. This book shocked England. For the first time, ordinary readers were forced to look at the truth of how poor children actually lived. Not in a distant country, right there, in their city, on their streets. People were angry, people were moved, people demanded change. One novel, written by one man, changed a nation. Then came the book that made Charles Dickens immortal, A Christmas Carol, December 1843. Ebenezer Scrooge, a bitter, selfish, cold old man. He hates generosity. He hates joy. He cares only about money. On Christmas Eve, three spirits visit him. They show him his past, his present, and his future. And Scrooge changes. He wakes up on Christmas morning completely transformed, full of love, full of generosity, desperate to give, to help, to connect. Dickens wrote this entire book in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Every copy sold out in the first week. Because of this one small book, people across the world began to celebrate Christmas differently, with more kindness, with more attention to the people around them, with more love. One story, 6 weeks of writing, changed how the world celebrates Christmas forever. Think about that for a moment. One person, one story, 6 weeks, and 180 years later, we still feel it. Great Expectations, 1861. Pip is a poor boy who dreams of becoming someone important. He gets his chance. He enters the world of wealth and status. But the question at the heart of this novel is simple and devastating. What truly makes a person great? Is it money? Is it status? Is it the clothes you wear or the people you know? Or is it something else entirely? Something that cannot be bought, something that has to be built, slowly, painfully, honestly, from the inside out. Dickens spent his whole life asking that question because he already knew the answer. He had learned it in a factory when he was 12 years old. A Tale of Two Cities, 1859, set during the chaos and violence of the French Revolution. It opens with the most famous sentence in all of English literature. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. 7 words that describe every era, every life, every moment when everything is falling apart and full of possibility at the same time. This novel has sold more than 200 million copies. 200 million. Written by a man who once pasted labels on bottles because his father was in prison. On June 9, 1870, Charles Dickens had dinner with his family. Then he went to his desk. Like every other day of his adult life, he started to write. He was working on a new novel, his most ambitious yet. He never finished it. That evening he suffered a stroke. He fell from his chair. He never woke up. Charles Dickens was 58 years old. The news spread across England and then across the world. Thousands of people came to mourn him. Not politicians, not aristocrats. Ordinary people, workers, families, children who had grown up reading his stories. People who had never met him, but who felt somehow that he had always understood them. Because he had been one of them. He had been the hungry child, the ashamed boy, the person the world did not see. And he had spent his entire life making sure those people were never invisible again. Today, more than 150 years after his death, every single one of his books is still read, still loved, still studied, still changing people. He started as a boy in a factory, too ashamed to be seen. He ended as one of the most beloved human beings who ever lived. And now I want to stop and talk directly to you, not to everyone, to you, the exact person who is here right now listening to this. Think about what you just heard. A 12-year-old boy, hiding behind a machine, burning with shame, no plan, no future, no one telling him it would be okay. And he made one decision, to keep going anyway. That is it. That is the whole secret. Not talent, not luck, not the right connections or the right family or the right moment. Just the decision made quietly, privately, with no audience, to keep going. Now I want to ask you something. What is the thing in your life right now that feels like that factory? The thing that makes you want to hide? The situation that makes you feel ashamed or stuck or invisible? The dream that seems too big for where you are right now? Because here is what Dickens proved. Where you start is not where you finish. The pain you feel right now is not a sign that you are failing. It might be the exact fuel you need to build something extraordinary. Dickens did not write A Christmas Carol despite his suffering. He wrote it because of it. Every cold night in that factory, every moment of shame, every rat that ran across the floor, every time he hid behind that machine, all of it went into his pen. All of it became his power. And the world is different because of it. Your story works the same way. The hard thing you are going through right now, the struggle, the setback, the moment that feels unfair, it is not wasted. Nothing is wasted. It is all material. It is all becoming something. You just cannot see it yet. So here's what I want you to do. Not tomorrow. Right now. Take 1 second and recognize something. You showed up today. You listened to an entire story. You stayed until the end when it would have been easier to stop. That is the same decision Dickens made every morning when he walked to that factory. The decision to show up. Keep making that decision. Every single day. There is another story waiting for you. Another life. Another proof that the darkest beginnings can lead to the most extraordinary endings. And today, that person was you. Charles Dickens picked up his pen every single day, even on the last day of his life. The factory did not win. The shame did not win. The dream won. And yours can too. Your story is still being written. Make it one worth telling. See you soon.